People ask me, Omar, why do you settle for vanilla ice cream? I just like it better than chocolate or strawberry. But can you judge me when half the EV drivers of Orange County settle for a white Model 3? There's nothing wrong with vanilla, but the past few years have opened doors to new opportunities that you really should explore. What's this?
Chucky Monkey. You should try it.
Oh, thanks. I'll give it a shot later. Now, I've got to give Tesla credit where it's due. The Model 3 has been a bestseller for many years, as has been vanilla ice cream, and it's got some classic styling. But there are many more exciting options in the market now, some of which we've got in the Patterson Auto Group, including the EV6. This is actually my favorite electric car right now. The Model 3, well, not as much favorite. Let's go through them. Full disclosure, this is a pre-owned unit that we acquired because Elon wouldn't lend me a brand new one. And you might yell at me because technically the EV6 is a crossover, so I should be comparing it to the Model Y, but let's face it, Model 3 and Y are kind of the same thing. Talking about the exterior first, the Model 3, I don't have to tell you too much about. You've probably seen 100 of them this morning already. The EV6, if you're not familiar with yet, this is a beautiful work of art which you can appreciate from every angle. Wheels, you've seen these aero hubcaps. The EV6 has wheels for people who like cars. They're very stylish, and the wheel and tire have a larger diameter overall, which really helps the proportions and makes the car look a lot sportier. Looking at the sides, both designs are sleek, but the EV6 wins in my book. This really bulbous shoulder gives it a lot of presence, and the rear spoiler adds some character. While I'm here, I want to make a pit stop at the door handles. The handles on both cars are flush. In the EV6, they come out as you approach the car with your key or once it's unlocked, and they open in the same direction that the door opens. Nice and simple, right? In the Model 3, here's something that really irks me. It's not intuitive. You've got this odd shape, which ultimately you press on one side and you grab it with the other side of your hand, and the handle opens in this direction while the door opens in this direction. It's too many directions, kind of awkward. Both mirrors are aerodynamic. Kia made theirs a little bit bulky in my book, so I've got to give the Model 3 the win for design, but the actual mirror gives you more visibility in the EV6. Looking at these faces, it's obvious which one's the prettiest one. Mine. But let's address this Model 3. I actually loved this design when it first came out. It's very clean and it was distinctive, lacking that center grille. But I see it every minute of every hour of every day, and it lacks character at this point. The EV6 is fresh, it's got these huge headlights, it actually features a grille both in the center and at the bottom. And I mean, just look at this car, it is gorgeous. While we're here, let's talk about front storage. I've got to give Tesla the win on this one. They've actually got some very useful space. Park it right, and I could actually hang under the shade here. On the other hand, I don't know that I could fit much in here. In the rear, the Model 3 takes another win with as much trunk space as it has, especially if you count what's underneath the floor. But the EV6 offers plenty of space, the versatility of the hatch, and you can put the seats down to gain a little bit more. Plus, the opening sits a little bit more flush with the floor, which makes for a much more comfortable tailgate test. To be fair, the Model Y probably performs better in that sense, but let's face it, this is plenty. Why do you have to haul around everywhere? Are you a hoarder? Before we get inside, we have to talk about this bodacious rear end. I'm in love with it. There's nothing wrong with vanilla, but this is unmistakably beautiful, and there's nothing else like it on the road. The backseat of the Model 3 is okay. It's spacious enough. This fold-down center armrest and the air vents in the rear make things a little more comfortable back here, but the support in the seat is not quite there. I kind of feel like I'm sitting on a bunch of marshmallows. And while this is a plus for most, the glass roof is tinted, but I can still feel the sun radiating heat on my head. I don't like that. The backseat of the EV6 is a lot more comfortable off the bat. The seats are supportive, you don't have that sun beating down on you the entire time, you still get that fold-down center armrest, and the cup holder is actually a little more versatile in case you've got larger items that you want to put in there. The seat back design allows you to hang a jacket back here, and you've got USB-C ports for the rear. Oh, you also get air vents, but they're mounted on the B-pillar, which makes it more convenient to point at your face if you need them. Okay, this is not the first shot that we had to take of this, because on the first one, I unleashed all of my frustrations on this car, and my camera crew told me that I need to dial things down. So, while I appreciate that they've really cleaned up the interior here to give you a more Apple Store-like experience, putting everything in this iPad-like display in the center of the dash, it's just not intuitive. Things are hidden in menus, they're hard to see, not something that you want to be messing with while you're driving. You kind of need a course to use this before you get behind the wheel. And in this case, we're lucky that the car is pre-owned, so your turn signals are still on a stalk behind the steering wheel, but in the new 2024, they're moved onto the steering wheel itself, which, like I've said in the past, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know why they do this. And the car seems to have a little bit of a mind of its own. It tries to guess at what it is that you're doing, so if I just had a passenger hop in the back, it turned off the car thinking that maybe now we're no longer driving, and it tries to guess at when it should be on or off. For what it's worth, I was able to get the car into a nice, comfortable driving position, but the support, again, is just not there. I feel like I'm sitting on marshmallows, and this leatherette does not feel breathable. So I have to admit, this is not the car for me, but maybe it's for you. It's a decent value at just under $23,000, currently available at Mission Viejo Kia, and it's got 70-something thousand miles, but that's not a lot if you consider a well-maintained electric motor. The EV6 feels like a driver's car. You sit further in the cabin, nice and cozy. I've got a dash right where I would expect it, so I can see my speed, in addition to the heads-up display, so I'm really not missing a beat. You've got real controls for everything, which are nice and legible, so you're not hunting around in a menu just to change the climate control. The only real quirky bit is the transmission dial, which I don't mind because I get a real button for the glove box. And the seats are nice and supportive, they're breathable in this perforated suede, plus they're ventilated, so I'm chilling. Pricing between the two options, charging speed and range, is going to be fairly hand in hand depending on how you choose for them to be equipped. But all things considered, just in how this makes me feel, I could not personally settle for a Model 3. Driving dynamics between both cars will very much match their personalities. They're both electric, so they'll both get you that instant torque, and depending on how you want them equipped, both will get you to 60 miles an hour in under 4 seconds, which nobody needs. But the EV6 will perform with much more sporty handling, while the Model 3 is okay. Thank you for watching. If you want the standard, we've got a Model 3 for you at Mission Viejo Kia. If you want to try something different, you already know which one I'm taking home. And by the way, this Chunky Monkey's off the hook. Might be my new favorite flavor. I'll see you next time.